So I've got my tarp, got some water, fancy a brew actually. I have to get that on in a minute. Onetigris winter quilt, and over here a Onetigris summer quilt. So I've already compressed both of these. They are very, very compressible, as you can see, especially this little summer one. It compresses down one hell of a lot. So if you're in two minds whether to buy the Onetigris or not, they compress super well. Now I don't actually use stuff sacks at all. I put them on the hammock, they stay on the hammock along with my sleeping bag, and I just pack the whole lot into a dry sack inside my pack. Okay, there it is, uncompressed. This is the summer one in its compressed state there. They are really lightweight. If you are in the market for quilts and you think they're going to be heavy, as I did, synthetic quilts have come a long way. They are light, but does light mean it's going to be cold? So far, daytime testing to 6 degrees above. This is all I've needed, but I always like to pair mine up as well for winter. So I bought two. I bought the winter and the summer, and I'm going to use them in conjunction to get down to them bitterly cold nights. I was buying from America, so I thought, why am I just buying the one and paying all that postage? I could buy two. I may as well buy the hammock that goes with it also. And it is a genuine Onetigris. The whole bundle there was about 140 UK pounds, including the shipping, which I got for free. So far they've been okay. They've not let me down. The actual quilt itself is not your typical rectangle standard type of underquilt. It is designed for this hammock, and it's kind of boat shaped on the end. It is split like that with a continuous circle of stretch cord which comes all the way around one side to the other side, and it's in a continuous loop. So I could grab two of these, and that is how you would adjust the pitch. I could have it loose by grabbing just one of these cords, grab both of the cords, shortens the underquilt to get a tighter pitch, which we'll see as I put it on. But this little boat foot here, you can see it's got a cut in it. It's not rectangular, it's iris shaped with a V cut, and there is no head and foot as far as I can see. So I am going to put it on the same as everyone else does, using the carabiner and underslinging it. I don't like doing that. It leaves air drafts. I don't think it's designed to be hung like that, but I'm just going to put it on to the hammock as you see everyone else do on YouTube, but hang about, because as soon as I've done that, I'm going to alter it and hang it how I like to hang it, and it loses all the air drafts, gives it a much better fit on the shoulders, much better stretch and warmer. But that is called underslinging your quilt, bringing it to each end of your hammock. I don't do this on any underquilt, whether it's synthetic or not. I never hang like that. I don't like underslinging. So I'm going to make some adjustments, and I do them by using both the cords on the underquilt, and I may even stretch them out to the carabiner instead of the end of the hammock. As you can see, it's a continuous loop of elastic that comes through both sections of this boat cut quilt. So if I grab that section also and pull it, I could marry it up to this clip here. Let's put that in. Well, let's see what that is done for the actual underquilt. It's brought it up somewhat. Now ignore my little red beaner, that is for a different purpose. But I can still grab this centre and pull so it doubles up and bring it to the beaner. And already it's altered the pitch. Both sides are sitting in a lot better. If I do want to adjust it to get this quilt even more snug, I would bring the carabiner from the end of the gather on the hammock right up to this beaner here. I've got a much shorter distance on the hammock ropes there, and it's been underslung. And at the end of the underquilt, sometimes this pocket is open. If I can get my hand in, cold air's getting in. I hate underslinging any kind of quilt, whether that's down or synthetic, whether it's a budget or a very expensive one. I oversling, so that means I have to take the hammock off the webbing and thread the hammock through that boat foot split. Now, rather than having just clip it up here, I post the hammock through this loop of underquilt here. Now I can click in and oversling. Even if you haven't got Onetigris quilts, you're going to get a lot more benefit from overslinging your quilts like that. It'll lose that gap that I can blow cold air into. If I had a torch, you'd see you can't even get a finger in there. I have zero plans on removing the quilt from the hammock. It is the most annoying thing for me. It's even annoying to watch other people do on their YouTube videos, splitting equipment that belongs together. And if you notice, I only have a dry liner there in black on the inside of my pack. So instead of having 4 stuff sacks to contend with, I just have the one. Post it through. Click it back on. Even if you do use the stuff sacks, this adjustment here makes for a much snug quilt there. Back to the little red beaner, why do I have that? Because this has got a ridge line. I cheat and I grab both sides of the hammock and I bind them together there, because I kick a foot either side, because I don't do the diagonal lay. But everyone who sees me lying straight down the ridge, they jump on the comments and tell me I don't know what I'm doing. I don't bloody like it. It's as simple as that. It's individual choice. So that little technique there allows me to cock a leg left and right to get a perfectly flat lay, yet coming down the ridge. I have the summer one. It's exactly the same, just less material. This on its own would be great, sort of for the temperatures we're in now. It's not going to go to freeze point at night. That would be fine on its own. I'm a cold sleeper. This offers me at least, I should imagine, a good extra 5 to 10 degrees. And double stacking quilts isn't a new idea at all. Extreme low for the summer of +5C. Comfort upper 20C, that gives a difference of 15. So I can put this, incorporate it onto the winter quilt to give me an extra 15 degrees. It is water resistant, which is why I like it. It's going to keep that morning dew off. Not waterproof. It's ripstop nylon, 20 denier. It should be plenty if I look after it. It's breathable polyester. 200 grams GSM there. 550 GSM. That is good for a cold sleeper below zero. 500 GSM. Great for a cold sleeper way below zero. Two quilts. The sleeping bag I'm using there is an old army sleeping bag, best part of 2 kilos. For this kind of weather conditions, I reckon I could get away with just maybe a softy suit and lighten that by, good 1.5 kilos maybe. Note how the V pocket here at the end of the quilt now, the hammock is sitting in a lot better. Now it's been overslung, so I can grab all the little lines, and you can see it's right at the top where it's been anchored. Undersling is where you sling or attach your quilts from here. Yes, it's quicker, but I have the cord running from here to here. Now look how high up my cord is. It's elevated it a good 2.5 inches. And it's all overslung. You don't have to do that. I just want to share with you a little trick to get particularly this quilt working to its optimum, and I love it. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stuff sacks to contend with, or just the one dry sack in my pack, and it all goes in without having to detach anything from anything here. I tend to put the foot end in first into my pack, which is here. So let's see how feasible that is. I already know this works, by the way. I do it all the time. The tarp just sits on top with its own rainproof, dirtproof bag. And I'm gone. If I need extra space, I push down on the contents and I can put a pack of clothing in there. I have one hand I can pick that up with for winter. They are the stuff sacks. There's the winter one, there's the summer one. I'm going to put the prices in for each of these, how much at least I paid, not including the shipping, just for the products themselves, and that way it's fair for you to get an appraisal. The reason why I've switched from down quilts in the UK winter environment over to synthetics is that the down quilts were getting damp through the precipitation and the morning dew. Regardless of if you have a tarp up, you're going to get the morning dew and precipitation depending on your elevation, of course. But here in the UK, we don't always get bitterly cold winters. We get damp winters, cold and damp. It's horrible. I'd rather be in the snow and cold because you don't have that damp atmosphere. A damp down underquilt means it will not insulate any further, and you're going to end up cold. A dangerous situation to be in if you're below zero. I've had my quilts wet, my down quilts, and some smart arse in the comments said, yeah, but if your quilts were treated with DWR, that wouldn't have happened. Of course it would. My quilts are treated with DWR. DWR is coating them feathers to reduce the amount of damp, so if it does accidentally get damp, it dries out for the following night and it's usable. But I do also believe that these quilts are DWR treated also, so you've got a high chance of this staying warm even if it's wet, and that is what I was looking for with these quilts. Okay, last week we saw the actual hammock, the compound hammock. This week we've seen the quilts that go with the compound hammock, and I am off out right now up to the top of the ridge for the night. I've got all the kit I need right here, and you will be seeing that next week or the week after. Probably next week, I hope, if I switch things about. So that is everything you need to know, at least how I do it anyway. And of course, some of the ideas and tricks and tips you're not going to appreciate. Just you set yours up how everyone else on YouTube sets theirs up. But really, I would recommend overslinging them quilts. You're going to be so much warmer. Till next week, take care of yourself. I'll see you out there. Happy trails.